What's good, YouTube? It's your boy. It's your boy Live, and I'm back out here with another legendary video. And in this video, we still on Boonk Gang server, you know, applying major pressure. Make sure y'all drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and understand I'm bringing y'all these videos on time. Now, you guys know in the last video, Boonk Gang, you know, lost that 300 turn FF, and this is us cleaning up the little pillar base that they had right next to the FF, and we claiming that for our own, guys. It's a tough situation for these Boonk Gang guys. They just clearly not skilled. They just clearly can't do nothing with our alliance. All right, by this point, they're inviting everybody and their mother to come over here and help defend, and they are trying their best to get us out of that rat hole 5. But y'all gonna see in this video, trying and actually doing is two different things. So the winners, POV with the OP rat hole, you guys already know, man. That's the tribe name that we over here causing major damage to Boonk Gang. I go to the teleporter. You guys see the list of TPs that's on Boonk Gang main server? It's ridiculous, all right? And they dropped another FF. I think this was about 4 or 5 days within the 5. I showed up to help push another FF. So you already know, man, we got the big poison out here blowing straight gas at these guys. Big Joe Blaze out here, and I had a lot of fun, man. To be honest with you, the fact that they rinsed so much loot to get us off their server made this so worth it. But I actually Boonk Gang guys a question. That one little tower that you wiped with your glitch Titan, was it worth it? So I probably had the most fun on a poison on this FF push than any other. As you guys can see, after we wiped everything decided to build back the pillar, build back another 200 turret, whatever they had, FF, and we're pushing it again. All right, this time they had good comms though on the server, helping them. You guys already know what that's gonna be like, but we're still dominating, man. The rat holes are still strong. We wiped almost everything outside the rat hole. They heavily spammed outside the rat hole to try to structure cap us, and you already know, man, the Joe boys is out there making plays, getting us a different situation. But that's later on in the next video. You guys will see what happened with that. It was definitely exciting, man. But let's get back to the content. Let's get back to me on this poison, showing these Boonk gang guys that, hey, that tower couldn't have been worked in, man. So at this point of the fob, we had them on the ropes pretty much. I went to jump on the racer to try to make some plays real quick and start getting these cliff flats out of here. We believed at this point that they were out of gates. As you can see, a lot of the gates was cleared. It probably took us like an hour to push those gates the way they was spamming them, and they were spamming tech and metal. Plus they was putting back all the cliff flats every time we blow them. It was tough, man. It was definitely tough to push this FF. After they lost the first one, they learned from that and decided to pour in even more stuff, and they got a lot of help from the rest of ARK. As you can see, man, the gates it's a war, man. It's a war on ARK. If you ain't got patience, man, do not play this game, because scared little dogs going gate spam to the next new year, man. was gonna get rid of all these gates. We definitely needed mechs, more mechs to push, and we decided to, you know, let's go get some big soakers. Let's get these guys a run for their money and see if we can get them on the ropes again. All right, they decided to pop dreads, and they really didn't want to lose this FF. You guys already know, man. These guys are egoed out on CNN. When you post that you wipe something with these guys, they really feel like they should just end it all. That's how sad they are about clout. At the end of the day, this is big clout blaze, and I'm dropping C4 packets all on your gates trying to enter this FF, man. It's as simple. So the racer wasn't doing it, and you guys already know, man, I got 100% imprinted dreads added to the dread line right here, and we're definitely mounting a major push. You see the tech tappy spraying, you see the mech on the right clearing the gates, but guess what, guys? It's a lot more that's needed to push this FF, and the fact that I was here for at least 4 hours at this point, back and forth fighting, the content was definitely fun. I'm not gonna lie, but I definitely DC'd. You guys already know this is coming. Fat DC here for a while, and I missed out on a lot of big pushes until I was able to spam back in. But this is me on my dread, man. I think it's the first time I've used the dread in PvP. So I finally got back in the server, hopped on a mech real quick because these GC guys was spamming mechs, and it was making it real tough to do anything when the mech is just spraying Ellie. I'm not even sure how much Ellie they had in their comms, but apparently with the war up to this point, they have lost over 10k Ellie. Alright, so all we really needed to do was hold the fob a little longer so they can rinse and rinse and rinse more resources. That's what this fob was about. It wasn't even about wiping them fully. As you guys know, these guys keep everything in that north snow, and that is a push that it just takes a lot. Alright, so at the end of the day, we was on their server having fun, PvPing them, dropping everything, and a lot of these FFs that you see us putting up, it's stuff that we kidded off of these guys, man. The Joe guys, man, was kidding these guys like crazy. You in CNN, you can see all the screenshots of guys getting kidded for 4 and 5s, and we really used all of that against them. Alright, but this mech ain't really doing it, considering I don't have a shield, but I'm holding down the fob right now as the numbers were low. And man, PvP is just the greatest on this game, man. It's that simple. So at this point, a lot of time has been invested by both parties. The war has been right here at this spot, and you guys can see the only reason why we did not wipe this FF in time is because of their spam. Alright, they got cliff plats all back on that top pillar, and they got a million gates with BE gates spread all the way around. But we was making plays. Shout out to the guy OG Aaron, man, commander out there getting guys on stegos and dropping stegos on the Fortnite, and you know, we was doing a lot of damage to these guys, man. It almost lost this FF quite a few times, but at the end of the day, the amount of mechs that we needed to continue to fight against the whole of ARK, we just didn't have it. All right, we didn't have all the mechs for that day, and we ended up losing this FF. But the FFs right now at this score is 5-1. This is the first one we lost. Every other one we ported off, and we're back in the rat hole. So it's not even like they really did anything. All they did was took our position, and we was just back in the rat hole until we get a better position, man. It's your boy Live, back to the lab, back to creating, back to doing what I do. Listen, every other day, man.